Hi, and welcome to my continuation of my series of watching and reviewing the Spider-Man movie leading up to Spider-Man Brand New Day. And that's supposed to come out on July 31st, 2026. And then from August to December, before Avengers Doomsday comes out, I will watch and review um, only the good X-Men movie, only the good Spider-Man movie, only the good MCU movie, and then from August to December, I will also watch and review some of the underrated MCU movie, Spider-Man movie, and X-Men movie that I think that is very underrated, that got a lot of hate, that I like. Okay, so um, I'm on Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay? So, if you want to go ahead and tell me what your favorite Spider-Man actor, favorite Spider-Man movie, and what your excitement level is for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Okay? And if you want to go ahead and tell me, are you looking forward to in December for Avengers Doomsday? Okay? Um, so, um, Spider-Man No Way Home got 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. It got 93% from the critics of Rotten Tomatoes, 97% from the audience. Now they call it popcorn meter. Okay? Directed by John Watt, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Benedict Cumberbatch, Jacob Baton, Jon Favreau, Jamie Foxx, Willem Dafoe, Marissa Tomei, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, December 17th, 2021. 148 minutes, 200 million with the budget, 1.921 billion at the box office. Okay, so this was about them trying to get into college, and uh, so Peter Parker goes to Doctor Strange. He used the spell Doctor Strange, and he talked and interrupt Doctor Strange, like, I don't know how many times, like 4 or 5 or 6 times, something like that. And then Doctor Strange get mad, and Doctor Strange says, it's your fault. And then Peter Parker like, no, technically it's your fault because you use the magic. So they argue back and forth, and then um, the bad guy from Tobey Maguire era Spider-Man movie showed up. The bad guy from Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie showed up. Okay? And then, so what happened? They have to reunite together. Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire, all three come together and try to fight the guy and send him home. Okay? Now, technically, you can say it was Doctor Strange and Tom Holland, Peter Parker's fault for bringing these guys here. Okay? Now, um, um, now, um, so technically you can say this is a fan service movie, nostalgic movie. That's why it made a lot of money. That's why a lot of people like it. Okay. I wish you were more. I wish you were more emotional, more serious. Okay, than just every other thing or a joke like oh, he's just some random guy. You know, when that, that, stuff like that. And I didn't like it. With all the years, I didn't not, me personally, I did not hear not one word about people wanting Amazing Spider-Man 3 movie. And then after the movie came out, now everybody saying, I heard a lot of people saying online that, oh, Amazing Spider-Man 3 because of this, okay? What would be good is if Andrew Garfield showed up in Doomsday and Secret Wars. I'll be satisfied with that. Same thing with Tobey Maguire. Showed up in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Okay, that would satisfy me. I'm not having a Spider-Man 4 with Kristen Dunst, Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell. Same thing with Andrew Garfield. Not having the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Okay. Man, those guys get to be in the Avengers. Same thing with Hugh Jackman. Oh man. Okay. Now, in this movie, Marissa Tomei, aka Aunt May, she died. To be honest, I like the original Aunt May from the Tobey Maguire era. I like that Aunt May and that Uncle Ben the best. They will always be my favorite Aunt May and Uncle Ben the best. Okay? Not because I'm biased, have nostalgia for it, so I grew up with that era. No, it's just that I think the way they did it, it's the best. Okay? They didn't use those characters and to crack jokes like Uncle Ben was sad when he died from the Tobey Maguire era, and he said a good quote: "Come great power, come great responsibility." Okay. The only time it was kind of sad or she was good for me personally, Marissa Tomei, was when she died. It was kind of sad. Okay. And then Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker come in and say, oh, I had an Uncle Ben that died, it was my fault. Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, Peter Parker come in and say, oh, I had a grand, it was my fault. Okay? I like it that they all start talking together, and then they ask Peter Parker and Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker, say, how do you do that? They come out of your arm, and the other two, Peter Parker, like, oh, we can't do that. We have to make our own realm. Okay, I like that. Okay. Okay. All the villains were good, but Alfred Molina and Dr. Octopus, and then who's the other one? William Dafoe, Green Goblin. They were the most outstanding villain in this movie, okay? And they were fantastic in Spider-Man 1 and 2. Okay, William Dafoe was fantastic in Green Goblin and Spider-Man 1. And Alfred Molina was fantastic at Dr. Octopus. Okay? Okay, so this might be the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I might like it as much as Homecoming. Okay? The only reason why I said I liked Homecoming was Michael Keaton as the Vulture. Michael Keaton was very good at Batman, and I like him at Batman. And I like in Homecoming they had a Shocker. Cause when I was growing up, I played the Spider-Man on the GameCube, and one of the villains you can play with the Shocker. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So the best thing I like about Tom Holland Spider-Man movie is mainly the villain. Okay, everything else I don't really care for. They're either like too jokey or corny. It's the villain of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie that makes the movie good. So when you have a villain, a good villain, in an action movie, a James Bond movie, the list go on, horror movie, a superhero movie, it makes the movie good. What I mean by a good villain, I mean by a terrifying villain. Thanos were good. William Dafoe as Green Goblin were good. Okay, the Joker and the Dark Knight were good. Okay, um, so yeah, okay, so so I would say No Way Home and Homecoming are the two best ones that Tom Holland made. I would say more people probably like Homecoming better because of all the nostalgia thing, all the villains from the previous Spider-Man movie come back. I think Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire come back. But for me, when I go see a comic book movie, I want a good story, emotion, all that. Okay. So I was the worst one out of all three of them, Far From Home, cause too jokey with all the kids in Europe and stuff, and Nick Fury, Marina Hill, and Mysterio what stayed the movie for me. Okay, if it wasn't for them, I'll probably hate the movie. They too jokey. Okay, kind of like Thor: Love and Thunder. Okay, that's just my opinion. And then I think some movies that I think are really awesome, a masterpiece, or something like that, or a lot of fans like, and then I go on Rotten Tomatoes and I'm like 70 or 80, like the second and third Back to the Future, Return of the Jedi, GoldenEye, just to give you a few examples of some of the movies that if I was on Rotten Tomatoes, I would give them all the movies I mentioned, at least the 90s. Okay? So, No Way Home is good. Personally, I like Tom Holland performing as Spider-Man when he was in Captain America Civil War. I like him in Infinity War and Endgame. Okay? That's when he's trying. Okay? I wish one time they would make a Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland just by himself. And he wouldn't rely on no Doctor Strange, no Iron Man, no Nick Fury, nothing. Just try to fight somebody and rely on nobody. Okay? And for Spider-Man Brand New Day, I hope Punisher is awesome and cool. And not shooting and cracking jokes that being awesome and terrifying and cool. And the Hulk, be terrifying like Edward Norton was. Okay? So, I'm gonna give Spider-Man No Way Home. I like it. A big part. So that's it. Until next time.